Hello, this is Anne Collins, and I'm joining you today for another episode of Leaders Who Love What They Do. And today I'm going to be talking about something a little bit different, slightly different to what I have been talking to you about recently. And we're going to be talking a little bit more specifically about career development. Now, obviously, when we're looking at purpose and we're looking at life direction, career development is a really important part of that. So today I thought it might be useful to delve a little bit deeper into that, and because it's followed from a few conversations that I've had with clients recently. So before I do, just a little bit about me. So I am an executive and leadership coach, and I support senior leaders in their journey to accelerate their impact, both within their organisations and sometimes outside of it, and to achieve goals that they previously believed often to be absolutely impossible. And part of this journey is obviously career development. And so first of all, I'm just going to tell you what I see are the main problems for many successful senior leaders in midlife. And then I'm going to give you 6 steps that I think are outside of the usual remit of career development, of working on your CV, working on interview technique. So outside of those, to really help to develop careers, not just at one particular point, but over the long term. So to start with, let's look at the problems that I see, or some of the problems that seem to come up for a lot of senior leaders in that midlife period. So for lots of leaders, for lots of successful leaders, in fact, for many reasons, what they crave is really to be able to have more impact somehow, either in the field that they're already in or sometimes in a completely different field. But it does seem to me to be at the root of it, this desire to have more impact, to see the results of their daily lives and their work. One of the other problems that many of them have is that they actually have too many choices. Because they're extremely experienced, they're competent, there are many avenues that are possible. However, quite often they don't have enough time to think about it, and this might be you don't have enough time to really sit down and think about it amongst the long lists of things that need to be done. So that's a big part of it. And another part of it is sometimes, although there are many options, on one hand, almost all, I would say, also feel that they have this bank of experience, and often they're in very well paid positions as well. So there is this feeling of, well, can I really leave that, or should I leave that? And really, should I just be grateful for what I've got? And I think this feeling can be quite strong, because there's also often a very nagging feeling that time is marching on, and where do you want to be in the following 20 years, in the following 10 years? Where do you want your energy to be used? So there is also that feeling that the changes need to come now, that there isn't time to waste. So, but there is this problem of, well, what actually is possible? Where can I go, and is it feasible? But something has to change. Something must change right now. So if this is you, if you're a successful senior leader and you're ready to make a big impact at a higher level, either at maybe C-suite or board level, this might be for you these 6 steps that I'm about to outline. Now, this, as I said at the beginning, I'm not looking at how to ramp up your CV, how to prepare for interviews, how to actually find those new jobs. That's something else. But this is really the step way before that. So today I'm going to give you 6 strategic and intentional steps that you can start working on right now if this is you and you're thinking that something has to change, but you're not quite sure what. Now, the first one, and I think it's probably one of the most difficult sometimes, is actually saying yes to opportunities, because quite often opportunities do come along, but we're maybe a little bit hesitant, maybe not quite sure if that's the right direction. But especially if they push you outside of your comfort zone, this can be difficult to really say yes to. And sometimes, interestingly, as people become more senior in their roles, sometimes they feel that they have more to lose if they make a mistake that's possibly a public one. So, for example, if it's a speaking opportunity, for example. But quite often saying yes to these opportunities, what it does is it gives you the chance to explore by planning, by talking to new people, possibly outside of your industry. It takes you into a slightly other world. So it gives you that chance to just step outside. And in a way, it's about giving that distance that we've talked about before, about being able to get a different perspective on your position. Of course, it's always good practice as well, taking on a speaking opportunity or these other opportunities that may come your way. So saying yes to these opportunities that could take you outside of your comfort zone and also could help you explore some areas that may be slightly different, or give you the opportunity to meet people who are in slightly different areas or different stages of their career, could be interesting. Number 2 is to get fully aligned with your purpose and your passion and know what's important for you. So know what kind of values that are important to you. Know what kind of qualities you're looking for in a company, and be very clear on that. Be very clear what kind of atmosphere is important for you. What kind of workplace do you want to work in? What kind of values do you want to see? So, for example, maybe it might be something along the lines of transparency. You want to work in an organisation where decisions are transparent, information is shared freely, for example. It might not be. But whatever it is, whatever is important to you about the qualities of that workplace, be very, very clear on that. Being clear on what's important to you, your purpose and your passion, is obviously key as well. So finding out what is it that's going to be important to you. And again, that gives you a chance to step back from the day-to-day reality. Number 3. And I think this is a very important one at this senior level, and this is to create a network. So create a network, but very intentionally. Create a network that inspires you, that motivates you, that challenges you and interests you. And also a network that's really excited about your progress. People who see your potential. People who are excited about your career and what you can do in the world. So find those people. And even if the network is not huge, remember, it's not the quantity, it really is the quality of that network that's going to be important for you. Number 4, be very strategic when thinking about roles and projects that you take on, but at the same time, don't be afraid of twists and turns. So don't be afraid to take on something that is maybe not exactly along your line that you normally do. Because, of course, if we always do what we always do, we're always going to get the results that we always get. So sometimes taking that little twist and turn, accepting that project so it's a little bit off the beaten track, maybe that could be good. Now, why is that? Well, first of all, it gives us a little bit of that variety and diversity. And again, a bit like the earlier point, it takes us maybe into different areas and where we meet different types of people. But it helps us to nourish this growth mindset that's so important. It helps us to keep our minds open, and to also build resilience and flexibility, because by the very nature, if it's a bit of a twist and a turn, probably we're going to be again outside of our comfort zone, and we're going to have to be a bit resilient because things might be difficult. We might need to ask for help. We might have failures along the way. We might need to learn again how to deal with that. So all of those are very interesting. And of course, within that, you might also find joy in the unexpected, and you might find an opportunity there, or something that's slightly different that suddenly ignites something in you. All of these things, developing a growth mindset, having an open mind, finding joy in the unexpected, and building resilience are all key for great leaders. So if you're looking to progress your career, saying yes to those little things slightly off the beaten track is a good way and an easy way. Number 5. Now you might think, well, when you're trying to develop your career, doesn't it feel a little bit counterintuitive to actually support others? And I would say no. Empowering others as a mentor, supporting them, leading groups, speaking in groups, and becoming a leader who really brings others along. That is very, very important. It's wonderful, of course, for the people that you're doing that for. You're providing them with an amazing opportunity, but also for you. You are practicing all the time your leadership skills. You're having a great impact. You are developing all those skills all the time that are going to be required of leaders in those very top positions. And especially if you look for people, again, slightly outside of your normal group. So don't be hemmed in by staying just within your area of expertise, because once you step up to those much higher levels, maybe up to C-suite or board level, you're no longer working as an expert in one sense. You have to have a broader view of the organization. So this is a really a very good preparatory step, and will definitely help with leadership development. Number 6. And I think this is probably one of the most important, and this is focus on creating human connections. Now, why is this important? Well, obviously, as a leader, that's absolutely key. So if you're working on that, you're working on your leadership skills, you're working on your career development in that sense. But secondly, you're going to avoid emotional exhaustion by working on that connection with other people. You're going to again help to build that resilience, build that muscle, in effect, to be connecting with others in a true and authentic way. Now that is going to help you, it's going to help them, it's going to help the organization. If you're listening, if you're learning and you're serving, what I see is that then the missions arrive, the posts come along, the roles appear, the opportunities appear, because you start to have a great impact where you are right now. And added alongside that, I would also come back to this point that self-compassion is also very important along this road of career development. Of course, there are going to be moments where it's not so easy. So having self-compassion and becoming connected to yourself, being very self-aware, all of that personal development is going to really help along the way. So being connected to yourself and being the real you, the authentic you, is going to help. So finally, my point is that when you look at these different 6 points, there's nothing that's an event, as it were. And I think this is where we sometimes have a problem with career development. We look at it and we think about the turning points, the next, that decision when we're going to do something. But the reality is, I think, is that career development is exactly that. It's development. It's not an event. It's something that you're always working on, always developing. So if we see it as an ongoing process, it's much deeper, it's much richer. And if you look at all of these points again, they're not things that happen overnight. And becoming a leader at that much higher level, it's a process. It's not only that point when you are offered the job. Very often it started many months, if not years, beforehand. So let's just go over very quickly those 6 steps again. Number 1, firstly, say yes to opportunities, even if they seem a little bit off the beaten track. Number 2, get fully aligned with your purpose and passion and know what kind of values you're looking for in a company and be very clear on that. Number 3, create a network that not only inspires and motivates you, but is excited about your progress, is going to support you. Number 4, be strategic when thinking about roles and projects, but don't be afraid of the twists and the turns, because that's going to develop your growth mindset and build resilience, which is going to be great for those higher level leadership positions. Number 5, empower others, mentor, support, speak in groups, help people to move along. Number 6, focus on creating those human connections. Avoid emotional exhaustion, and also at the same time listen and learn and serve, and those roles, those doors will start to open, because you will be having a great impact. You will be operating as a great leader, even though you don't have the title yet. So, with those thoughts in mind, I'm going to leave you today. It's just a short episode today. If you've enjoyed that, please do go over to Apple Podcasts and rate our podcast. Leave a review. That would be amazing. It really does help us to make our podcast episodes more visible and to help more people. If you would like to join our 5-day challenge, it's going to be our very last challenge, Life, Leadership and Purpose Challenge. It starts on Monday. You are most welcome. You will find the sign up link in the show notes. Otherwise, go to bluebottlecoaching.com/events. I look forward to seeing you there. Thanks so much. Have a great evening. Bye bye.